Ethology of neoplasia. Neoplasia means new growth. The new growth that is formed is known as neoplasm. In Greek, neo means new and plasma means the thing that is formed. The term tumor was originally used for the swelling caused by inflammation, but now it is used synonymously with neoplasm. And oncology means the study of tumors or neoplasms. In Greek, onkos means tumor. Neoplasm is defined as an abnormal mass of tissue, the growth of which exceeds and it is uncoordinated with that of the normal tissues, and it persists in the same excessive manner even after the cessation of the stimuli which evoke the change. And there are 9 salient features of neoplasia. So first is origin. The neoplasms arise or originate from the cells that normally maintain a proliferative capacity. And the next is genetic disorder, which means the cancer is due to permanent genetic changes in the cell known as mutations. And the neoplasms are heritable, which means the genetic alterations are passed on to the daughter tumor cells. And they are monoclonal, which means all the neoplastic cells within an individual tumor originates from a single cell or clone of cells that has undergone a genetic change. So these tumors are said to be monoclonal. And regarding carcinogenic stimulus, it is the stimulus which is responsible for the uncontrolled cell proliferation, which may not be identified or it is not known. Next is autonomy of neoplasia, which means excessive and unregulated proliferation of cells that do not obey the normal regulatory control. And the cell proliferation is independent of physiologic growth stimuli, but tumors are dependent on the host for their nutrition and blood supply. And next is it is irreversible. Neoplasia are irreversible. The neoplasm is irreversible and it persists even after the inciting stimulus is withdrawn or gone. Differentiation refers to the extent to which the tumor cells resemble the cell of origin. Tumor cell may show varying degrees of differentiation, ranging from relatively mature structures that mimic normal tissues, which means well differentiated, to cells that are so primitive that the cell of origin cannot be identified, which means poorly differentiated. So, a tumor cell shows varying degrees of differentiation, which ranges from well differentiated to poorly differentiated cells, and this is called as masking of cell. Differentiation in anaplasia, it means the resemblance to cell of origin. So benign tumors are well differentiated, malignant tumors are well differentiated to undifferentiated depending on the cell tumor growth or morphology. Undifferentiated tumors or cells are called as anaplasia. Example, the squamous cell carcinoma may be well differentiated and it can also be undifferentiated. So there can be well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma or undifferentiated squamous cell carcinoma. Features of anaplasia. First feature is there will be lack of differentiation and there will be pleomorphism, which means variation in cell size and shape, and the nucleus to cytoplasmic ratio will be increased, and there will be abnormal mitosis, hypochromatic nuclei with nucleoli, and there will be tumor giant cells and loss of polarity and ischemic necrosis which occurs due to pressure effects. 6 P's of neoplasm are the salient features of neoplasia. So the 6 P's of neoplasm are purposeless, progressive, proliferation unregulated, preys on host, persist even after withdrawal of stimulus or autonomous, permanent genetic change in the cell. Classification of neoplasia. The tumors are classified depending on the biological behavior of tumor as benign and malignant. So first, benign tumors. Regarding benign tumors, they have relatively innocent microscopic and gross characteristics. They remain localized without invasion or metastasis. They are well differentiated, which means their cells closely resemble the tissue of origin. The prognosis is very good and they can be cured by surgical removal in most of the patients, and the patient generally survives. And regarding malignant tumors, cancer is the general term used for malignant tumors. The term cancer is derived from the Latin word crab because It is similar to a crab. The malignant tumors adhere to any part that they seize on in an obstinate manner. So the malignant tumor shows the property of invasion, which means the malignant tumors invade or infiltrate into the adjacent tissues or structures. Example, invasive ductal carcinoma of breast. Metastasis, the cancer spreads to distant sites, which means they metastasize, where the malignant cells reside, grow, and again invade. And the exception for this will be basal cell carcinoma of the skin, which is histologically malignant, that is, it invades aggressively but rarely metastasizes to distant sites. Glioma is a malignant tumor of CNS, and the prognosis is not so good. So most of the malignant tumors cause death. So microscopic components of neoplasms are the tumors, both benign tumors and malignant tumors, consist of two basic components, parenchyma and stroma. So regarding parenchyma, the parenchyma is made up of neoplastic cells. The nomenclature and biological behavior of tumors are based primarily on the parenchymal component of tumor. And regarding stroma, it is a supporting non-neoplastic tissue derived from the host. Its components are connective tissue, blood vessels, and inflammatory cells. Example, macrophages and lymphocytes. And the stroma shows inflammatory reaction, desmoplasia, and it has many importance also. So regarding the inflammatory reaction of stroma, the stroma may show inflammatory reaction in and around the tumors. It may be due to ulceration and infection, which may be secondary infection in the tumors, especially in the surface of the body. Some tumors show inflammation reaction even in the absence of ulceration, which is due to cell-mediated immunologic response of the host against the tumor as an attempt to destroy the tumor. For example, lymphocytes in the stroma seen in seminoma testis and medullary carcinoma of the breast. And importance of stroma is they are required for growth, survival, and replication of tumor through blood supply. They are very helpful for the tumor cells. The tumor consistency depends on the amount of stroma. If the tumors are soft and fleshy, they have scanty stroma. And desmoplasia means the parenchymal tumor cells may stimulate the formation of an abundant collagenous stroma, which is referred to as desmoplasia. For example, some carcinoma in female breast have stony hard consistency or cirrhosis. And regarding the nomenclature of neoplasms, so first benign tumors. Benign tumors, they are classified as mesenchymal tumors and epithelial tumors. So benign tumors are generally named by attaching the suffix oma to the cell of origin, OMA, oma. This oma suffix is attached to the cell of origin, and that is how they are named. So mesenchymal tumors, nomenclature of the mesenchymal tumors. So if the cell of origin is a fibrous tissue, it is named as fibroma. If it is fibrous tissue, it is named as fibroma. If the cell of origin is a fat cell, it is named as lipoma. If the cell of origin is a blood vessel, it is named as hemangioma. If the cell of origin is a cartilage, it is named as chondroma. If the cell of origin is a bone, it is named as osteoma. If the cell of origin is a smooth muscle, it is named as leiomyoma. If the cell of origin is a skeletal muscle, it is named as rhabdomyoma. And regarding the nomenclature of epithelial tumors, their nomenclature is not uniform at all, but it is more complex. They are classified in different ways, which depends on the cells of origin, microscopic pattern, and macroscopic architecture. So, adenoma. Adenoma is a benign epithelial tumor which arises from glandular epithelium, although they may or may not form glandular structures. Example, follicular adenoma of thyroid, which usually shows microscopically numerous tightly packed small glands. Papilloma, which means benign epithelial neoplasm that produces microscopically or macroscopically visible finger-like exophytic or warty projections from epithelial surfaces. Example, squamous papilloma, which is composed of finger-like projections. Cystadenoma, which means it is a tumor forming large cystic masses. Example, serous cystadenoma of ovary. Papillary cystadenoma, which means it is a tumor which consists of papillary structures that project into cystic spaces. Example, papillary serous cystadenoma of ovary. And polyp. Polyp is a neoplasm. It is a neoplasm. Polyp is a neoplasm that grossly produces visible projection above a mucosal surface, and it projects into the lumen. It may be either benign or malignant. It may have a stalk, pedunculated polyp, or may be without a stalk, sessile polyp. Example, polyp of stomach or intestine. So the polyp may be either benign or malignant. It need not be necessarily benign. And the polyp is of two types, pedunculated polyp and sessile polyp. Pedunculated polyp means it has a stalk. Sessile polyp means it does not have stalk. And regarding the nomenclature of malignant tumors, they are termed as sarcoma or carcinoma depending on the parenchymal cell of origin. So sarcomas means they are malignant tumors arising in mesenchymal tissue. These tumors have little connective tissue stroma and are fleshy. In Greek it means, Greek sar means fleshy. So examples of sarcomas, nomenclature of sarcomas, example will be fibrosarcoma, liposarcoma, osteosarcoma, chondrosarcoma, leiomyosarcoma, rhabdomyosarcoma. So carcinomas are the malignant neoplasms arising from epithelial cell which may be derived from any of the three germ layers. Undifferentiated malignant tumor is a malignant tumor composed of undifferentiated cells, but the cell of origin cannot be made out on light microscopic examination. Inappropriate terminology for malignant tumor. So in certain tumors, the term suffix oma is inappropriately used and sounds like a benign tumor. So an example for this inappropriate terminology for malignant tumor will be hepatoma, which occurs in liver, melanoma, which occurs in skin, seminoma or dysgerminoma, which occurs in testis or ovary, lymphoma, which occurs in lymph nodes and extranodal lymphoid tissue, mesothelioma, which occurs in pleura, peritoneum. And regarding eponymously named tumors, these tumors are named after the person who first described or recognized the tumor. Example, Burkitt lymphoma, which is a B-cell lymphoma. Ewing sarcoma, which is of neuroectodermal origin and arises in bone. Gravid's tumor is a renal cell carcinoma which arises from renal tubular epithelium. Kaposi's sarcoma is a malignant neoplasm of vascular endothelium. Hodgkin's lymphoma is a malignant tumor of postgerminal B cells. Brenner's tumor is a benign tumor arising from surface epithelium of the ovary. So regarding the nomenclature of malignant tumors, if the cell of origin is a fibrous tissue, it is called as fibrosarcoma. If the cell of origin is a fat cell, it is called as liposarcoma. If the cell of origin is a blood vessel, it is called as angiosarcoma. If the cell of origin is a cartilage, it is called as chondrosarcoma. If the cell of origin is a bone, it is called as osteogenic sarcoma. If the cell of origin is a smooth muscle, it is called as leiomyosarcoma. If the cell of origin is a skeletal muscle, it is called as rhabdomyosarcoma. So regarding other tumors, nomenclature of other tumors. So first, mixed tumors. Mixed tumors are derived from a single germ layer but shows divergent differentiation along two lineages. Example, pleomorphic adenoma of salivary glands, which is derived from a single clone and it gives rise to two components, namely epithelial and myoepithelial cells. So these epithelial and myoepithelial cells are the stromal elements. And regarding teratomas, the teratomas are a special type of mixed tumors derived from totipotent germ cells, which are normally present in ovaries and testes. Totipotent germ cells have the capacity to differentiate into any of the cell types found in the adult body. Thus, teratoma contains recognizable mature or immature cells or tissues, and which are representative of more than one germ cell layer, and sometimes all the three. These cells or tissues are arranged in a helter-skelter fashion. The tissue derivatives from various germ cell layers may include ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So, from ectoderm, the example will be skin, neural tissue, glia. Mesoderm, the examples will be smooth muscle, cartilage, bone, fat. Endoderm, the examples will be respiratory tract epithelium, gut, thyroid. And regarding hematomas, it is a disorganized mass of benign appearing cells indigenous to the particular site. Example, pulmonary chondroid hematoma consists of islands of disorganized but histologically normal cartilage, bronchi, and vessels. And regarding choristoma, it is an ectopic island of normal tissue with heterotrophic choristoma is an ectopic island of normal tissue with heterotrophic rest, which means normal tissue in an abnormal site, and it is a congenital anomaly. Example, presence of small nodular masses of normally organized pancreatic tissue in the submucosa of stomach, duodenum, or small intestine. And regarding embryonal tumors, which are also called as blastomas, they are the type of tumors developed only in children, usually below 5 years of age. It microscopically resembles the embryonic tissue of organ in which they arise. And examples of embryonal tumors will be retinoblastoma, which is seen in eye, nephroblastoma or Wilms tumor seen in kidney, neuroblastoma seen in adrenal medullary nerve ganglia, hepatoblastoma seen in liver.